Wales centre Uilisi Halaholo suffers cut eyelid ahead of Six Nations game with England. Welsh Rugby Union. Following a laceration to the eyelid sustained in training on Tuesday, Uilisi Halaholo will remain with the Wales squad this week for monitoring rather than being released to Cardiff Rugby. Wales centre Uilisi Halaholo has suffered a laceration to his eyelid ahead of next week's Guinness Six Nations game with England. Halaholo sustained the injury in training and will now remain in camp with Wayne Pivack's squad instead of being released to Cardiff this weekend as planned. Sponsored link. My Tokyo. Maybe other countries wouldn't have done it, but Tokyo. Euronews. Recommended by the Welsh Rugby Union said, following a laceration to the eyelid sustained in training on Tuesday, Uilisi Halaholo will remain with the Wales squad this week for monitoring rather than being released to Cardiff Rugby. Wales are understood to be confident that New Zealand-born Halaholo will be available for the Twickenham clash on February 26. Halaholo was due to have been one of 6 Wales players released from camp this weekend to get minutes under their belt ahead of the England game. Khan vs Brook. How to book. Uilisi returns to England squad ahead of Wales clash. Six Nations fixtures, table. Cardiff pair Rhys Carre and James Ratty are available for Friday's United Rugby Championship home game with Zebre. Ospreys fly half Gareth Anscombe, Scarlets scrum half Kieran Hardy and Ulster hooker Bradley Roberts will also rejoin the Wales squad after this weekend's. Wales bounced back from a heavy opening Six Nations defeat to Ireland to beat Scotland 20-17 in Cardiff last weekend. South Africa to remain in Rugby Championship until 2025. South Africa will continue to play in the Rugby Championship until 2025, the organizer SANZAAR has announced. The move ends speculation the Springboks were planning to leave the Southern Hemisphere Championship, which also features New Zealand, Australia and Argentina, and join the Six Nations setup. The pandemic has created a very unusual sporting environment over the last 2 years, with match and commercial delivery severely affected, Marcelo Rodriguez, the SANZAAR chairman said. This has seen the member unions work very hard to keep rugby alive and present during COVID, and at times this has not been easy. Indeed, there has been much speculation about the future, but it is now great that all members have committed through until the end of 2025, as a minimum. This means we can concentrate on ensuring the Rugby Championship remains as one of the best rugby tournaments on the world calendar.